Radio Sound Castle Arc. Our story begins after the events of Freshman Arc, where our three heroes gather together and get welcomed by Lavinia. They decide to head to Thoma's dorm so she could explain them and the magic side. On their way, Toma looks troubled, and Shiage notices. Shiage asks why. Toma answers him that at the end of the war, he ended up disappearing and was proclaimed dead. Now that he's back, he's unsure on how to face the people he worried. Shiage then suggests something. At a vending machine, we meet Misaka Mikoto. She's pretty troubled by what happened to Toma and his disappearance. But someone then appears, and it's Toma, but he's drunk. Misaka is confused and wants answers, but he's too drunk to answer. She ended up following him while he meets other people, all of them being friends of Toma. Fukio Sisiri, Imigami Aisa, Komoe, Yoka Kasakiri, and Komokawa Syria. They scold Toma for being drunk and skipping on the preparations for an upcoming festival, called Ichihara Nansei, a massive event in Academy City. He left and head home. At home, there waits a young girl with silver hair, named Index, who is worried for Toma since he hasn't come back yet. She tries to look for him but gets stopped by the door by his arrival. She's happy to see him, but he's acting too much like himself. Accelerator and Shiage was nearby watching, and praised Toma with how he's doing. When they get inside, Index remembers Accelerator from their meeting in Academy City Invasion Arc. Lavinia then starts to explain about the magic side and them with Index. When they start explaining about magic, Shiage gets told not to try to use magic, because of the damage that magic has with an Esper. The system of magic and Espers are incompatible, and if an Esper uses magic, they get hurt. For example, with Tsuchimikado, when he used magic as an Esper, he got really bloody after using magic. The group decides to take a break. Accelerator leaves for a bit to head to the balcony. There he meets Tsuchimikado. He's surprised, but Tsuchimikado tells him that he should have done his research, that he's actually right next door. He and Accelerator have a chat about the dark side and what happened to group, and he gives some advice to Accelerator about what he's going to do moving forward. But before they kind of continue, they get stopped by Last Order and Worst. After some shenanigans, Last Order and Worst heads out, leaving Accelerator with the group to continue the explanation of the magic side. Lavinia then starts to explain about the magic side and its groups. She explains the differences between a massive organization like the Roman Catholic Church and a magic cabal like Lavinia's. She tells the group that the difference is acceptance. One is widely accepted and one is not so. She explains that them are a magic cabal. They have a goal that's big enough to warrant many people joining in, since if they didn't, they wouldn't have so many people join, since smaller numbers means they're safer. She tells the group that them have roots in World War III. During the war, many people got affected, from science to magic to normal people. And many people during the war had goals. These goals they wanted to achieve during the war, and they saw issue with the war ending early, and that is at the roots of them and their goals. Before she could tell them the name of them or their real name, something big happens. While Lavinia explained to the group, them were hatching a plan against the group that involves a massive place called Radio Sound Castle. The castle was modeled after the Tsar of Bethlehem during the war, and it's massive in scale. The Anglican Church was finding a way to win against the castle and try to stop it. The castle is going to crash into Academy City. They managed to find a way to stop it before being stopped by a magician on the castle. Kanzaki Kayori, the person who was chosen to stop the castle, easily beat the magician, but the castle is already over Academy City, and she can't stop it because of the damage it might cause. Lavinia explains that the castle is tracking Toma, and how there is some kind of item inside Academy City to help with that. The group heads out to destroy the item. Accelerator finds where it is through magic, and tells Toma and the others. Toma heads there to destroy the item with his right hand. When he finds it, he can't reach it, but gets help from Shiage and the group destroys the item. After they destroy the item, Radio Sound Castle passes over Academy City and crashes into the ocean. Inside the castle, Kanzaki finds a message. Lavinia then reveals the name of them And the message reads, "Welcome home, hero." And it's from, Lavinia tells the name, being Gremlin. After Lavinia finishes, the group decides to head home. Before Accelerator and Shaggy could leave, Lavinia tells them about Gremlin and their next target. It's Hawaii. Lavinia tells them some advice, and both Shaggy and Accelerator ponder on it on their way home, leaving only Lavinia, Toma, and Index inside the dorm. Toma decides to head to Hawaii. He's going to fight for himself, and that gremlin deliberately targeted him this time, so he wants to deal with it himself. Index is pretty worried, but Toma does little to help. He decided to leave for a while and ponder on things. He ends up in a bridge in District 7. While he's thinking, he gets approached by Misaka, who gives him the scrap that he lost during the war. Misaka and Toma have a talk about something, where Misaka asks Toma a few questions on if he's going to go somewhere. Toma then confirms that he's going to go somewhere, and when he's about to leave, Misaka grabs his arm and tells him that this time he's not going alone. So this part was very much a lot more summarized than the first part, since I really took a lot of time to get stuff done with this part, and even though that I did decide to cut a lot of stuff out, primarily from a lot of the character interactions from Mizujime and Atsuli and even Itsuwa, and especially some of the other characters that appeared, such as Item and Last Order, there's a lot that I decided to cut. If you want to let me know if you want a video on those parts, let me know. For Kansaki's parts with Gremlin, there's actually a lot that happens, but I decided to skip on it or kind of make it a bit more concise. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the script turned out this time. And next week, NT3 is coming, so stay tuned for more.